How to seal a basement floor and walls. In this video, we're going to learn how to seal a basement floor to make it more comfortable. You will notice actually sealing the walls and sealing the floor. This makes a better living space for storage as well as mitigating a place for pets. Here's some of the benefits that you get from sealing the basement. It's a warmer room, less humidity, and more space to use in your home. This project has 1,700 square feet of walls, concrete walls, and it has 2,000 square feet of floor that needs to be sealed. As you can see here in the video, as we walk around the house, you will notice that the basement is totally surrounded by dirt. This means that year-round that wall is exposed to humidity. Even if it rains, snows, there's still humidity. As soon as you start warming up your basement, you're going to be drawing more of that humidity through the wall into the basement. This does not mean water, this is humidity. We start the project it's about a 3 or 4 day process. The first day, we're going to remove the items from the basement, clean the walls, and seal the walls. We apply 2 coats, and then we're going to scrub the floor. Let it dry. The third day, we're going to come back and apply 2 coats of the seal green epoxy vapor barrier sealer to the floor and allow it to dry. Give it a day to dry, then come back and put the stuff back in the basement. Here's an example of the benefit of sealing the walls. You can see that just overnight, the temperature of the wall has gone up at least 1.4 degrees from a non-seal wall to a seal wall. This will improve all the way up to about 4 or 5 degrees difference. Here's another example of what a seal wall looks like. As you notice, as we spray water, the water penetrates into the wall. That water on the other side will be transferring humidity into the inside of the basement, as you see here in the test. Also, after we sealed it, the next day you can see that when we spray water to the wall, there is really no penetration, so there's no humidity transfer. The walls do not change in the look. On the first day, we're going to remove all the items from the basement, clean the walls, and seal the walls, and then scrub the floor. Here's a sample of how to scrub the wall. We don't wash them with water, we just basically broom them to get any dirt off the walls, and we just go all around. The next thing you know is we apply the seal green concrete sealer for the foundation, and we just spray it evenly. We also have to be careful that you don't spray the windows or the metal because it will etch it. You will see right here as I continue into the video how to work around the windows without having to do a lot of covering. As you can see, a second person comes very handy. They just put a cardboard and then you can spray without getting it onto the windows or the metal frames, which we don't want to stain. As you can see, he just sprays carefully, gets it nice and even, and then he treats the rest. So you can see how we're covering the upper part of the window, and there is no need to spend a lot of time trying to do this. We will be doing this process twice. One's going vertically and the other one let it dry so that the wall looks dry, then come back about an hour or 2 later and then spray the whole wall again on the vertical direction, so that way every corner of the wall gets sealed. As you can see here, it's a look of, it's where we gave him a 2-hour time dry for the whole wall to be sealed, and we'll just go all around the basement and seal the walls. You will also notice that after you have sealed all your walls, if you wanted to do that later, you can actually paint the walls if you wanted to with just regular paint. That's an option that you can gain by sealing all the walls. Our next step, after we have treated all the walls, is to start washing the floor. We will use the seal green color stain primer cleaner. We'll scrub the floor with a seal green extra heavy duty pad, and we use a what I call floor maintainer machine to scrub the floor. Easiest way to do this. As you can see, we set up our machine, then we go ahead and spray the floor. The more cleaner you put, the better it is for the machine to scrub, and the easier it is and less work for you to clean the floor. It also works a lot better. So we try to soak it well. Once that cleaner has been applied, we follow by spraying water. You will notice that we use a control hand nozzle, and we're only working in 4-foot square areas, so that way we can contain the water and not have a big mess in our basement. And as long as we move along, we will finish rather quickly. Here is the floor maintainer scrubbing the floor. This is the easiest way to do it. You can do it with a stiff plastic brush as well if your area is fairly small. In this case, we have 2,000 feet of floor, this is the most efficient way to do it. After we finish doing the floor and washing the floor, we allow 12 to 24 hours, depending on the humidity outside and in your home, to allow before we put any coatings on the floor. Next thing you know, we come back. We like to squeegee the edge to make sure it's nice and clean and there's no water going underneath there or water remaining there. And then we come back and add a little more water to it so we can actually pick up the floor cleaner rather easily with a vacuum. You can use a wet and dry shop vacuum with a squeegee at the end, or you can use a little more commercial machine like the one you see here that has a squeegee built into it. It doesn't matter, they both do the job. And the next step from here is to allow the floor to dry overnight with some fans, so you can actually have a ready floor for the next day to apply the first coating of sealer. Now that we've completed the floor from washing, it's time to seal the floor. We will need a 6-inch pad, a 9-inch roller, 18-inch roller, seal green E10 epoxy sealer, which is a vapor barrier. This is done on the third day after the floor has dried. And then once you complete the 2 coatings, bring your stuff back in the basement. We will start by trimming the walls. This is the 6-inch pad. It makes it very easy to trim on a post or the whole edge. And you just go around the whole basement doing this first before you start rolling the basement entirely. This simplifies the job quite a bit and makes it a little faster. Now, once that's completed, you will come back with a roller and you'll notice the difference between the sealed side and the non-sealed side. It'll start making it look wet. That is the final look of the floor, a wet, kind of semi-gloss look of the floor. That's what you will have. It will be dust-free, clean to use. As you can see, he rolls with one hand. He does not put 2 hands on the roller bar, and then he just basically coats the floor evenly. If you're leaving bubbles as you're rolling, then that means that you're rolling too fast. Make sure there's no lines left on the floor. The first coat is applied, then we allow between 12 and 24 hours to apply the second coat depending on the air and the humidity in the environment. We allow this so the first coating can dry completely well in the basement. Once the drying time between happens, you apply the second coat. Here's a vision of what it would look like once completed. For more information, visit www.sealgreen.com or call 800-997-3873.